God, either you can terminate him, which is cutting that head, or you can cut the grass by letting everybody else know who he is. You let everybody else know who he is, now we know what to look out for. We know what to look out for. So stay on point. When you hear brothers manifesting lessons, wearing universal flags, that's all sweet to the ear. But if the actions aren't right and exact, it becomes bitter to the heart. And we all taste that bitterness. So at this day and time, in the year wisdom, cycle, wisdom, we all have to be right and exact in the things that we do, as well as in the things that we say. You can no longer say something out of your mouth and not be able to show improvement. This is what we require in reference to 120 lessons. If you know 120 lessons, first of all, let me back that up with a statement. This is what we teach in the nation of gods and earth, 120 degrees. And if you don't bear witness to 120 degrees, then you ain't actually a member of the nation of gods and earth. You're perpetrating a fraud. You're perpetrating a fraud. Now, a lot of people in the nation of gods and earth, they know 120 lessons, but when it comes down to showing and proving 120, they quickly say, I don't bear witness to it. We can no longer say we don't bear witness to the things we don't understand. If we don't understand it, we have to do the research ourselves and try to find out the answers. But if you say you don't bear witness to it, then you're walking around like a racehorse with blinders on. The only thing you see is the thing that's directly in front of you, which means you have a closed mind. In this nation, we cannot have a closed mind. You have to be able to show and prove 120 lessons. If a brother asks you a question in 120 that you don't understand, ask him to explain it. If he doesn't explain it, then he'll look for fault in you. This ain't what we do. We don't look for fault in each other. This is a sign of an 85. Somebody, you say something to, his mind automatically goes into the negative. A lot of us do it too. I call it alter ego for gods. A lot of gods have an alter ego. You give them a little science, and that alter ego determines on how they want to deal with that science. One alter ego is the nature of gods and earth. And the other one is what they knew before they got into the nation of gods and earth. So they will justify their answer through that alter ego. So if they don't bear witness to 120 lessons, they're going to justify their answer in that Christianity mode. I don't bear witness to it. But when you God, I've never been ashamed to use this term. I don't know, but I give you the answer tomorrow. That's because when I get home, I'm going to find out. Anytime I hear something that I don't understand, I go search it out. I go find out the meaning to it. This is what I teach my baby. Matter of fact, one of my young gods was asked a question one time by infinite algebra. God didn't know the answer. The very next rally, I thought he was going to duck the God. But he went and found him and stepped to him. God, I got the answer to that question. God, that's the way you're supposed to do it. You never duck a man because you didn't know something. That plants fear in your heart. And we don't function on fear. We know for a surety, so we go home and look it up. So go home and do the research. I was curious about the history of Kusa Heights. Mind you, I used to live on St. John. I didn't get knowledge around here, but I still moved to St. John. And delivered one of my daughters right around the corner. So I participated out here in Crown Heights. But then I had to get the knowledge of it. To find out about some of the brothers that was out here. To find out, a lot of the older guards out here came down to Tonkin Projects when I was a baby to build with us out there. So that shows me how in the nation of gods and earth, we are in a cycle. The people you seen when you went around the first time, you'll probably see them again. They may not be at the same phase, but you're gonna see them again. That's the science of a word called vortex, or a spiral. A spiral goes in a circle, but it's a circle that functions at different levels. This is the way the nation of gods and earths are. And our children, they're at a lower, lesser spiral. We have to bring them up to pace. The way we bring them up to pace is by giving them the history that we know, the history that we went through. This is how we repeat our history. But we don't need to repeat everything in our history, because some things wasn't done right and exact. If you went through a science that wasn't done right and exact, and you go through that science again, that means you never learned the answer to it. Because if you learned the answer to it, you go through it one time. And then you prevent other people from falling in that pitfall. So this is what we need to do out here. Now, I used to belong to a lot of organizations. And I've seen a lot of societies that fall off for little small things. This is something that we can't allow out here in Kusa Heights. We have to build regardless of whom or what. As the older guard said when he came out here this morning, it's about understanding of them out here. But knowing my brother as I do, the rally started on time. I know that. I'm coming down the block 3 minutes after 2. And they're already in the cipher. I dismount and I hear God make a comment. Mind, dissect, mind. Now, this is a phrase that I grew up with. Mind, dissect, mind. Now this means a whole lot of different things. One aspect of mind, dissect, mind, I'm sitting at home thinking about something, and my brother's thinking about it at the same time. And he calls me and tells me, yo, God, I just had a thought. My response to his thought, there's nothing new under the sun, God. And he knows by that statement that I was thinking the same thing. Now the God also made another statement to show you mind, dissect, mind. He said that when he started building, he made manifest there something born, what? Something has to break. I didn't hear him make a statement. But I knew that's what he was gonna say. Something had to break. He also said something else. And I'm gonna paraphrase that because I don't remember the exact word. Y'all must think I'm out of my mind or something. And when he said that, first thing came to my mind is that if you are, a lot of us are. Because I remember the things that you've said. So that means I would be too. But I know he's just and true. And what we do is right and exact. So I know none of us are out of our mind. And the way we check it, we think alike. We think alike. So what I ask of all the gods and earths out here is to know your brother. Once you know your brother, then mind, dissect, mind. You know what he's capable of. You know what he's not capable of. Nobody can come between y'all. They can try, but in that attempt, this is when you become silent. You can talk about any one of my brothers you want. I will not add on to that cipher. I will say, oh yeah? And then I'm going to ask him. And when I ask him, I'm bringing him back. This is what I taught. If you have a complication with two parties, bring both those parties in the cipher. This way, if somebody's lying, they're lying in front of all of y'all, and we know it. We know it. So know and understand who your brother is. Know and understand who your sister is. There was times where we used to go to battle for people that proclaimed the nation of gods and earths. And in the following month, they Joe Neckbone once again. We can't afford to do that no more. Because in the nation of gods and earths, we say we're about family, and we raise our families in this. So now when we say Allahu Akbar, you bringing women into this, children into this, men into this that had other responsibilities. So we have to be very careful about who and what we allow in our environment. If you're not right and exact, take it somewhere else. Don't bring it to the nation of God's and earth. Because I'm from the old school. I'm not with this new frame of thought. Whoever throws the first blow is wrong. I'm not with that. I'm a Medina warrior. I throw the first blow. Your first blow may be a terminated one. So I'm not going to let you get it in. So if you're not right and exact, I'm coming for you. Don't be deceived. If my hand's behind my back, I'm carrying this sword. I have no problem in taking heads. So be right and exact when you come in my environment. Peace.
Peace. Peace. Peace. Peace.
No, my name is Born Universal Allah. And I'd like to ask, you understand, for y'all forgiveness for me not being here at these rallies, because when they first opened up, I was here, you understand, with the brothers acknowledging what was being did. You understand? So I would like to be able to extend myself to ask for your apology, whether it's given or not. Allah is the God. Today is knowledge, understanding. Knowledge is a word, right? It said know and lead. It also got edge. It also got lead. It also got owl inside the word knowledge. Because the owl is a bird that exists at night. And he sees in the dark. Because there's a lot of things that exist in the dark that some of us just can't see. To me, that darkness is ignorance. And ignorance is being perpetrated by intelligent people today. Because they want to be able to grasp the minds of the people. When Allah came and gave me knowledge, he gave me that knowledge for the purpose of being able to build internally. Because once you build internally, you will see something that is what? A change. That change is activity, that change is spirit. That change is motivation. And this is what we need today. We need motivation. Because a man by the name of Allah, when I first met him, he said, son, I'm not anti-white, either pro-black. I deal with the truth. Everyone that I know came here to the nation for their own specific purpose, you understand, intention. But I know that when I came, it was a negative intention, but yet after I became a child 5 and was able to exist amongst God and see the equality of the gods in the ground height, I became God. But I had imperfection that existed within inside me. But what I'm saying, whether for Allah, equality, we'll all be dead. This is something that we must look at and understand. A lot of times, I wanted to say, well, I'm the only God on this planet. Because I can count my own actions. I'm not by myself. Never been by myself. Even when you cannot see God, the forces of nature lets you know that the black man and woman is the ultimate one, activator of life. This is a principle that exists that is called product. If anybody know about that, later on we will go into that. But culture is having knowledge of refinement and civilization. When I came into this nation, I could not read or write. I can read today. This is something I can say that the nation of the gods gave to me. I was not a rich man or anything of that nature. I'm not a rich man today on the what material level or economics. But I'm rich because I have knowledge. I do not have poor thinking any longer. This did not come in one night. A lot of us have to be able to evolve. That's why they have the word evolution. And just like it comes from 1 and go all the way back to 9, it starts another cycle. So it reactivates itself. It is no longer called evolution no more. It is being called a revolution. Why? Because we know when you have a cycle, it consists of 360 degrees. Allah with perfection created Islam and made the original black man nature and made the original black man culture. So we must master the complete 360 degrees to live life, love, peace, and happiness. Here on earth as it is in heaven, so should it be on earth. When I say heaven, I'm not talking about the physical sun, moon, and stars. I'm talking about the man, the woman, and the child. Because this is the only thing that is convenient for me to have communication in order to build a black nation that is indeed supreme. Because I am supreme. Just like the white man taught there is a such thing as white supremacy, I teach there is a such thing as black supremacy. Because now is the time of the 7,000 years when a black man, black woman must take it upon themselves to activate life, to be responsible for yourself. Because for so long, we let other people be responsible for us. And this is what not the teachings of Allah, but he know that once you put a seed with inside the ground, the devil will try to what? Bring it up to kill that seed. And the seed that he put within the ground is that the black man is God. Not only living, but also dead. The black man is God. This is why each and every day we walk through the valleys of dry bones, to give the people the proper knowledge of themselves. I know brothers that have got shot and went back to the essence for this truth. You understand? And yet your brothers, today brothers and sisters do not know how to what? Respect their pioneers. These is our essence. These are the people that made it possible for us to walk these streets. We say Allah can't die. We say Allah still lives. We have shown forth improved. It is not us as individuals, it's His Spirit that's within inside of us that's activating and showing forth improved. That if any of the righteous amongst us, it is surely Him that is manifesting this culture of our God. This is why in 1969, after the father went away, I went to Chicago for Savior's Day to see the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. You know what he said? He told me something that was told to me 3 and 4 years before I ever saw him. He said, you God. He said, many of you come and bring me your dimes, nickels, and pennies. I buy airports, you understand? I open up grocery stores, I open up schools. But what I really want you to know, that you're God. He said, many of you say, well, I can't be God. He said, you was God before you ever became what you is. Because when the black man and black woman, before they came to the woods of North America, they was kidnapped. April 1st, 1555, which is April Fool's Day. Right, man? So when he took us from the so-called continent that is called Africa, which true name is Akabul land, he took kings, he took queens, he took gods, he took goddesses. He did not take people that were standing on the street drinking wine. He did not take people that were dope addicts. He took people from high, great civilization. And we know this. But yet we know that many people that was around at that time had to die off so that the baby could be able to live. We are that baby. We are the answer to our ancestors' prayers that they was fasting and praying for. Because when they was in the field talking about Jesus, oh sweet Jesus, come take me home. They was not talking about no man with blonde hair, blue eyes, and pale skin. They was talking about a boat to come back that was had the name Jesus on it, so it could take them back to the roots of civilization. But never did they know that the roots of civilization was inside their mind. Because in the subconscious regions of the black man, he always knew he was God. He always knew it. Even when the white man called him a Negro, he said, no, baby, I'm not a nigger. I'm not a Negro. He didn't know what he was. But he knew he was more than what L. St. John said he was. Over here, when I was 13 years old, a man put a gun up to my head and said, if you say, man, Allah to God, I'll kill you. I said, you might as well go ahead and kill me. Because I am indeed Allah. I don't know what you heard. I don't know what they taught you at that mosque. I don't know what they teach you in the church and the synagogues. I said, but I'm Allah. I said, when you look at that circle, completely of 360 degrees, you see that the first thing that it comes from is what blood, which shows the sign of life that comes from a woman's womb. Once it makes that revolution, it is called crowning. This is why this is called Crown Heights, because this was where the babies came from. And the baby is here in the crown and at its heights. You understand?
Teach it, man.
We got to understand this. We got to understand that this is not our nation individually. This is the Lord's nation. Yeah, I used to take it upon myself to want to hurt brothers because they didn't know a lesson. You understand? The Lord told me, study them lessons, son, but don't let them lessons study you.
Right.
Because you'll come out talking about you a Muslim. I'm teaching that you are God. Because I know the truth crushed down to the earth will always rise again. Because that is the struggle of a people that is struggling to achieve freedom, justice, and equality. You understand? I have freedom of what? Mind over matter. When I indulge with the supreme thinking of what? Allah's nation, the attribute and the power that is manifested from me is manifested from you. Because I get the energy from you. I don't get it from myself. This is why I told you, in the first degree, the 1 to 40, there was one passed out here in Crown Heights. It said Allah's original people.
That's right, God. Teach it.
Original people. Because any individual that is born has to come through a relationship of a man and a woman.
That's right.
It has to come from sperm. I know a lot of y'all say, God, he's talking about sperm. Why you want to bring that nasty stuff into it? Well, if that's the case, then we all nasty. Because that's what we came from.
Right.
You understand? I'm not going to tell you that a bird brought you to your mama and all that. I'm going to tell you the truth. Because your body was used as a vehicle in order to bring forth the truth and the energy of Allah. This is why we say that all things that come from a thought is supreme, because we know that a baby is created from a live seed outpouring in clouds of blood. The live seeds of living energy that is created within the brain, known as what living gas that exists in the mind. They have the knowledge of creation and begin to go through the supreme amount of heat. It's called the transformation of gas. Then it comes back to knowledge and go through another cycle. Because you got to go through that what? Evolution. In order for it to bring out a what? Revolution. In order for something to live, something got to what? Die. And when you see that blood, you see the sign of life because you see a new nation. The nation of the gods and the nation of the earth. Peace.
Hey! 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 Lord of all the world. Master of the world.
What's your name again, God?
Ball University. Ball University.
I heard the brother just shared something. Touch, hurt.
Talked about the signs of us being kidnapped. How he put it? It was April Fool's Day. 15 what? Crown Heights is a powerful place. Powerful. Mecca is a powerful place. Well, see, I come from Crown Heights. It was right on this avenue. 1968. Seen the guards and heard the guards in 67. But it took a little time for me to accept. 1968. I sat in a car. I used to work in the drugstore right here. The brother, Kusa. Kusa gave me knowledge of myself. I took another brother as my teacher, but Kusa. Kusa was the brother that opened up the door. Kusa. Kusa was a humble brother. His demeanor. To look at Kusa physically, a physical form, you see in a humble man. It's full of fire. Dangerous brother. Because see, when Kusa spoke the wisdom of God, he spoke it sublimely. It wasn't harsh. It wasn't hard. Mellow. Real mellow. When he gave you wisdom, it made you attractive, made you come in. The brother shared about April Fool's Day. See, that's something personal to me because, see, in the course of science, in the course of us coming into knowledge of ourselves here in Crown Heights, this area was full of brothers that were, brother shared it, we were all young brothers. We were some of the most fiery, youngest brothers in the nation come up out of this area here. But in the journey that we took, we were sidestepped. We sidestepped ourselves. A lot of us went to doing things that we had no business doing. We got caught up in a way of life that was not conducive to us. A lot of us got caught up in an element of self-destruction. And I myself was one of the brothers that went through this destructive stage. And I'm telling you, we were great brothers out of this area. We developed strong minds. I always say that brothers in this area could have become anything in life. Scientists, doctors, lawyers, anything we wanted to be. But the greater portion of us chose to be, it's the truth. The truth of the life. We chose to become hustlers, number writers, pimps. Word is bond, we were the best at it. But see, that wasn't our way of life. That was a savage pursuit of happiness. We was in search of something we knew not what. So a lot of us strayed from our original foundation. And in the course of that, there was a penalty to pay. And the penalty was real simple. Some of us became addicted. We took on what is called an addicted personality. Some of us became addicted to a lifestyle. Others became addicted to the lifestyle and the drugs. Drugs killed a lot of brothers out here. Those that it didn't kill physically, it killed mentally and spiritually. It robbed us of an entire community. It happened in this community and many communities around us. We'll get to this personal point. For 12 years, years, 6 months, and 13 days, I have not used a drink or a drug.
Praises due.
I have stopped using narcotics, any form. I have not used no mind, mood altering substance. My clean day, the day I decided, in a conscious contact with a God who was in my mind, has always been a part of me, was April Fool's Day, 1990. There's no coincidence. There's no coincidence. So when the brother shared that knowledge, I just wanted to acknowledge that I'm truly grateful, because they say you learn something new every day. I'm culture building Detroit. For those of you that don't know, that's 48. And I've never heard that knowledge before. If it was there, it wasn't meant for me to hear. But it was meant for me to hear today. On the knowledge, understanding day. Also like to make those of you aware that don't know that this month, which is what we call, because you see there's a lot of you here that don't have what we call, well, I can't say, because you got knowledge yourself right now. You're in the midst of the knowledge. You just haven't accepted. You was like me when Kusa was there. I heard and I see it, and I stayed around, but I just didn't become a part of. So it's okay. Keep coming. Keep coming back to us. In time, you will have a new name. You will have a new name. It's a cipher. The cipher is developed for you're here. You're among us. You're a part of us. See, the truth is the light. This is what this is about. We do this for people like y'all. What's your name, brother? Peace. Welcome. What's your name? Peace. Welcome. What's your name? Peace. Welcome. Yours? Peace. Welcome. This is what this is. We are family. This is how we used to be out here in Crown Heights. There were multitudes of us out here. Right now it's a handful, but that's how we started. We didn't start as a multitude in this area. We started real small, real simple. And that's what we are doing today. We are regenerating this area. So I want you all to remember what you hear here today. Don't take none of this for granted. If you have a question, there's something you don't understand, ask them. Ask them. God said if we don't know, we're going to find out. Because there's nothing that we don't know. We might not be able to give it to you right there and there, but we'll get it. Now, as I was saying, this month, which is what we call the knowledge of the cipher, which is October, cipher see what?
Truth.
Was the month. And I believe one of the guys shared with me that the day was knowledge out of what? Cipher, when the father or the nation actually took on a manifestation of itself.
Yes, sir.
October 10th, 1964 was when we, as a nation, came to birth. It was happening before then, but that was like what we call the official date. Yeah. The official date, October 10th. 1964. So this October 10th, 2002 gave us our degree as 31. Understand the deal? And in that frame of mind, right at this moment, I like to take a minute out to sing a song. This song is what we call the 5% enlightenment. Those of you that don't know the song, I just want you to listen carefully to words. Remember what I told you this song? Learn to listen, listen to learn. You'll get it. See it in. Keep seeing it. The song is called The Enlightenment. And we sing this song in honor of not only our Father, but our nation as one. This song is for all the universe. Because that's what we are. The universal family, God. The sun, the moon, and the stars. Now the song goes like this. Each and every day, each and every way, I'm gonna show and prove and teach the righteous way. Peace, Allah, Allah and justice. Oh, Allah and justice. Peace, Allah, Allah and justice. Oh, Allah and justice. Knowledge is the foundation. The wisdom is the way. Understanding shows you that you're on your way. Peace, Allah, Allah and justice. Whoa, Allah and justice. Peace, Allah, Allah and justice. Whoa, Allah and justice. Culture is our God. The power is the truth. Equality only shows you that you have planned to go through. Peace on my
justice. Whoa, Allah justice. God came to teach us all the righteous way. Now we must fill with what He has taught us. Fill to be born in this glorious day. Be Almighty Allah, Allah and justice. Whoa, Allah and justice. Be Almighty Allah, Allah and justice. Whoa, Allah and justice. The knowledge of a cipher is to enlighten you, to let you know that the God is right amongst you. Peace, Almighty Allah, Allah and justice. Whoa, Allah and justice. Peace, Allah, Allah and justice. Whoa, Allah and justice. Peace. Peace. That's what we call a 5% of life. That's our national life. That's our song. And like I said, Crown Heights is a blessed place. It's all a blessed people in this area. Because as I said, in due time, it's just a matter of time. But see, we time travel, each and every one of us. This area is going to be regenerated. And it's going to be regenerated by people like that. That's why I said, keep coming, more.
Peace.
I want to bring some science to y'all. God brought out some accurate points. I know, because I got mine in 67. I traveled from Brownsville, Crown Heights. I know what I went through when I came here in Crown Heights. What brought me here to Crown Heights was a brother by the name of Bishop, changed his name to Allah C. And I know what I had to go through with the scientists that were up there. One standing here right now. A couple others that are not here right now, but they know who they are. That's the reason why God said you're a time travel. I'm going to give you a little science on this time travel that we got coming up very soon. I'm going to read something to you and want y'all to take heed to. The nation of the gods and earth presents our first regional conference for Region 4. Region 4, North Carolina. A black and gold ball, dine and dance. Also, our 6th annual Family Day picnic is now 6. When? April 18th, 19th, and 20th, 2003. Where? North Carolina. State University of Greensboro, North Carolina. Conference, Student Union Memorial Ball, 10 to 6. That's on a Saturday, April 19, 2003. Black and gold ball. Now, let me give you a little science. You're gonna love this. When he say black and gold ball, he talking about going down there and shaking a little leg there, doing a little shindig, and black and gold tie. The reason why they use black and gold